So we're talking about this weird trend that's popping up in conversations around dating and relationships. Basically, the idea of relationship gaps. Now, we've seen this before.
Sure.
Okay?
An age gap.
An age gap, a swag gap, and a new one. Oh, actually 2 new ones I'd like to mention. A party gap.
What?
That's like people that like you are a partier, your partner's not a partier.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a party gap.
Okay.
And then an intelligence gap, which I never understand people who can date people that are like totally different on different intellectual levels. I'm like, we can't even go
what do
to
you
dinner.
talk about? Like,
No, like if you don't know what I'm talking about, like this isn't going to work regardless. Anyways, so all of these gaps are now, we're talking about them. The article points out that once you start thinking this way, it can basically attach the word gap to almost anything,
Sure.
right? You know, fashion gap.
I think in every heteronormative
Fitness
couple,
gap.
there's like a fashion gap between the girl and the guy.
Of course. Of course. Honestly, if the guy has more style, that
It's like, what are you doing?
be a red flag.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, suspicious. You're spending way too much time on this.
And why are you better dressed than me?
Yeah.
You know?
I also just don't love that.
Yeah. So this author actually argued that this could be a little bit of a problem in our thinking. So it kind of turns relationships into a compatibility checklist.
Mm.
So instead of asking, do we care about each other? We start asking like, are we equally cool? Are we fashionably the same? You know, are we equally smart? Do we have the same hobbies? And if the answer is no, suddenly people online treat that difference as a big red flag.
Yeah.
But relationships have always involved big differences.
Of course.
You know, there's always going to be a swag gap. Come on. Someone's always going to be cooler. Sorry, it's just like what it is.
You're never exactly the same on every category. That would be crazy.
Right, exactly. So, I don't know. I guess the main takeaway here is that relationships don't need to be perfectly balanced in every dimension. And sometimes the difference is just that. It's a difference, not a problem. And maybe instead of constantly measuring partners against one another, we should start focusing on things that actually predict healthy relationships. Oh, man, like respect, trust, communication, vibes.
Sure.
Vibes.
Vibes. We
You
love
know?
it. Yeah. I mean, like
Yeah.
if you labeled every difference to be a deal breaker, then like you would just die alone for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, oh, I can't do it because we have a party gap. I will say
That is tough.
the party gap is particularly important. I had a girlfriend who was dating a guy who she was going to marry, but she wanted to go out way more than he did. And ultimately they had to end things because he was annoyed by her partying. It really wasn't partying. It was just like going out and being social.
Yeah.
And she was like, he just wanted to stay home. And so
Yeah. You know,
that's a big difference.
I married a guy. We definitely have a party gap to some degree. I'm not like raging that we crazy, but like being social. But he's perfectly content to be home by himself doing whatever. He's like reading a book or playing a video game. Like,
well, I think that's good.
Cheerfully, he's like, okay, have fun. And I'm like, bye. And it works out great because then I get to maintain, you know, my identity outside of marriage. And he gets to like have his introverted reset time where I'm not yapping at him.
Yeah. I actually think that is kind of nice. I think that the difference there is like you guys are able to be like, we can both do this. I think sometimes people get upset.
Yeah, they're like I want to be home with you.
Yeah, and like I don't want you to party, you know? And I think that's where the disconnect comes.
For sure. And again, disclaimer, I am not raging. I'm just going out to dinner with girlfriends. But yes, exactly.
Totally.
No. I think that that's healthy too. You can't have everything be exactly the same or like otherwise you're dating yourself. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Keeps things interesting this way.
Yeah.